Hey, welcome back to Lorehammer Lockdown.
We got another hot, spicy episode coming for you guys.
Hitting you all the way from the land down under. It's the man with the plan.
Oh, look at it is, guy. Oh, you better not be touching some kind of fucking leveling bullshit there, Eric. Yo, g'day, guys. How's it going?
We get so many messages about how they hate you because of that.
I hope so.
But then we get just as many that, oh, that guy did a good rap battle. He blew my eardrums out and then he satisfied them. So
Oh my God.
I have to prep your ears in advance and then slam down sick rhymes, and that's how I do it most of the time.
I had your gain literally 0 and it still peaked.
See, I'm better than the machine, man. What do you expect? I can
we're
break
picking
your
them up
system.
on our microphones even.
This will be the last podcast
That
because
you
your
ever-
computer's dead
That's
after
right.
this.
It's fried. It can't handle Dylan waves.
Waves are the best kind of waves. Oh man, so
Welcome back.
I'm definitely within 2 meters of you. That's a little disconcerting.
Yeah, well,
It's like they say, fuck it.
who says that?
I say that all the time.
Oh, okay. So it's like Mark says.
Like I say, fuck it.
It's exactly like Mark
Whatever.
says.
Have you been practicing like pretty strict social distancing?
Look, I've stopped licking people in public.
Okay.
That's about.
No, that's pretty big for you.
It helps. Like I don't know. I trust Justin Trudeau. He didn't say it specifically, but I think it's what he implied.
Yeah. To not lick people.
Yeah. I've stopped. Just basically generally touching everything I see.
You know what? And for you, that's probably a big thing.
Yeah, it
You're
is.
a very touchy person.
I'm a very touchy
Very
person.
high energy.
Yeah.
Very touchy.
I mean, not that high energy. Come on, man. I can be gentle and serene when I need to
Yeah.
be.
Why are
I'm
you
an
giving
orc
away all
after all.
his secrets?
No, I mean it's a weird world, dude. It's a weird world. I mean,
Yeah,
have you been to a supermarket or a grocery store yet? It's so like
Oh yeah, I've been shopping a couple times.
Noticed
like-
it, man.
feels like you're I don't know in a movie. Like
No,
everyone's waiting their
honestly,
turn.
like everything is like missing 30. Like stores are missing like 30% of everything they have.
Really?
And, like you
Do
go
I-
through the produce.
Yeah.
Whatever is there is shit because it's
Really?
been picked over, and then sometimes there's just stuff missing.
I must have like every time just gone like right when they restocked or something.
I've
'Cause
gone to, like-
literally haven't noticed anything besides a toilet paper aisle being shit.
I've gone to like 4 stores now, and
Yeah.
all of them are very similar.
Yeah.
they restock. Like if you're the cunt that just buys everything at once, it's not how you're meant to do it. But like they do restock, and I've come at the time where they've restocked and everything's back to normal. But something that is real, which weirdly gets international news, is the toilet paper shortage in Australia is legit. So I've talked to friends and I've talked
so
to family,
weird.
and I was like, "Yo, like, can you actually go buy some toilet paper?" They're like, "No." Like
God.
they don't sell it anywhere. And what's happening is a bunch of these people from the city are getting on buses. They're going to rural areas and just buying out their grocery
Perfect.
stores.
That's what we need. We need people actually getting outside of their zones, carrying a virus to other areas
Yeah,
that they normally wouldn't go to, all because some other asshole bought up. It's so ridiculous,
The-
this whole
the-
thing.
Do you know?
like-
Do you know what? I'm sorry. Go on.
I read this funny. Somebody did the math or whatever. It's like so a family of 4, if they bought like just a Costco sized bag of toilet paper.
Yeah.
If you're supposed to lock yourself in the house for a week. So for 1 week, everyone would have to take like 183 shits in order to go through that toilet paper.
It's so
and
weird.
And that was like if you're using like 10 squares, which is enough to do your business.
You look like a man that could take 183 shits.
I could.
in a day?
Definitely could.
Well, when
yeah.
he's trying to pick up his 400-pound weight, then
so
I don't want to be shitting. That's
Yeah,
extra weight I'm losing.
exactly.
it's an appropriate amount of toilet paper for you, and you can tell them that as you attempt to buy it.
Yeah,
But
like,
just
it's
the
just
whole
like
toilet
so crazy.
The toilet paper
fucking
thing
insane.
specifically, like it just like what? Why wasn't bottled water the thing, right?
Oh,
or
sure.
Well,
like
that one's even retarded too, though. Like, there's never been any indication that electricity or water is going out. Like,
no, I mean, one of the thing about those rural areas is they're hitting up rural areas.
gas can definitely though.
Well, gas can, yeah. And you see that here.
Yeah.
But in these rural areas, where they're going is they're going into these grocery stores that just got hit by all the fires.
Oh.
So it's like these fucking poor families and shit that live out back Australia.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, cool. You're still recovering from all this travesty. How about we clear out your supermarket so you can't buy anything?
That's
kinda
so
fucked up.
crazy.
Yeah, it's fucked
What a
up.
but what a
Read well, guys.
country of criminals, and fucking degenerates that place is.
That's why we got a coronavirus. Get rid of all the scum. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it like bad there? Like, are there like high cases?
Let's
Like
just say-
here it's still pretty mild compared to like this ain't like Europe yet, where it's like really hit some places really hard.
Well, yeah, Europe's fucked. But look, I am happier. It's weird to say. I'm actually happier I'm here than I am back at home.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone here seems to be on the ball. Like the government, the way they're responding seems to be really, really good. They're putting a shitload of money to everyone, which is what seems to be the right thing to do. Back in Australia, you look at the politics there, and it's a bunch of school kids. Australia drops the ball all the fucking time. It's a bunch of people quarreling. It makes me a little worried that Aussies, it's such a laid back atmosphere. Like everyone's like, she'll be right attitude, you know, and like, oh, it'll be fine. Oh, fuck it. It's a fuck it attitude, and that's nationwide. So that'll be like, oh my god, oh shit, my girlfriend's. No, that's my boss. I can't answer that. I'm on a podcast.
You can answer.
I am not going to answer my boss in a podcast.
Well, you know, it's just your boss. It might be important. We can pause it.
Shit. Yeah. All right, pause it. Jessica.
Okay, and we're back.
Hey. See, as I was saying, like, that's why I way prefer that I am in this country. Because Australia, it just feels messy. It feels like they're not taking it seriously. The penny hasn't quite dropped there yet, I think, from what I can tell.
Sure.
Whereas Canada, or locking down cities, that hasn't actually, I think it's just started happening there. So, I mean, the whole thing with this thing is you want to make action early. And you can track the progress of every country based on what time they started making action, you know?
So what's happening? I haven't been outside much.
Good.
Nuggles arrived, man. Nuggles arrived.
Okay.
I saw an interesting thing. It was talking about how like 30 years from now, kids are going to be writing papers in like high school and like university, and they're going to talk about like coronavirus and like, hey, this is the country that took care of it early. This is the country that had a delayed response, and this is what happened to them like in the next 20 years, and like what's the outcome of it. So it was interesting to think of like, oh, like whatever happens now is like
it's history.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
We are in unprecedented history.
Yeah, because it's very different. Like there's like in our global connectedness, I don't think something like this has happened ever. So
well, I mean, we've had pandemics. Like mankind has had pandemics.
Sure,
but like
absolutely.
10 total or something like that. You know what I mean? That like killed a fuckload of people. It's just a dry run of the apocalypse. It's what it feels like. You know,
it makes me want to be a. What are those people called? Prepper. Yes.
Yeah, the preppers are the biggest winners in this.
Yeah, it absolutely makes me want to be a prepper.
The biggest losers are the cruise ships and the anti-vaxxers. They're pretty quiet right now. But the biggest winners definitely the preppers. Maybe that was the right move all along.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Jeez.
Fuck. I mean, we'll be okay. I mean, imagine being 10 years old and being told, hey, you don't have to go to school for like 5 months.
Yeah, that'd be fucking sweet.
Yeah, this is pretty much summer vacation.
Yeah. It just comes early.
Like it's fucking winter still, and it's summer vacation.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know what sucks is going through Canadian winter, which is bullshit. And then it's like, oh, we can go outside now.
Mild winter.
And now it's like, oh, you got to be inside for the summer.
Megan and I went on a hike on the weekend, and as we were leaving, we were noticed there were rangers at like every exit off of the highway, turning people away. Okay. And then later that day, Canada shut down all of its national parks.
Yeah.
Has that happened officially?
Yep.
So I can't go to the mountains right now. At what point do they turn you away?
You can't go into national parks.
So like on the way to Banff, there's that gate.
Yeah. Exactly.
So they'll turn you away then.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, but the crazy thing is like, if you can't social distance on a hike in the middle of nowhere, then you probably can't social distance anywhere. Like if you're unable to keep 2 meters away from someone in the middle of the fucking woods, you probably can't do it at a superstore.
I don't know. I get pretty touchy when I'm on the hikes. You know, you can yell as loud as you want. I tell them, no one can hear you. You know,
it's tight trails. I mean, people will fucking walk straight past.
No, but it was such a weird thing. Like, why is that your like a pretty like high priority thing for you? It's like, like. Yeah.
There's less medical attention out there. That's another thing to consider. It's like, hey, you're in the middle of nowhere. So
but it doesn't hit you like a brick.
Yeah. What do you mean?
It doesn't smash you into the ground with the fury of a fucking metric ton truck.
I thought it strikes you from the woods. I thought that's how this works. I mean,
you're thinking of bears
and cougars.
See Canada, bears, corona. It's all fuck. Yeah, I don't know.
No, it does. You get a cough and you're like, oh no. Like, I guess I'll walk back and drive home now. Like, I don't know. It seemed like an odd thing to me to prioritize shutting down. Someone might have a better explanation. But
when I was talking to my dad, and he's in New Zealand, and I was like, "So what are you gonna do?" Because his work is drying up as well. He's a contractor, and he's like, "I don't know, go hunting. Like, no coronavirus in the woods, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, because it makes you, like, if you want to go outside, you have to do it, but separate from everyone else. And everyone else is currently trying to do that. So that's like, everyone's weirdly spread out across the land. So it's, you could go woods, you can go bush. You just say, you'll find a...
Well, it's better to be in the woods and bush than it is to go to a superstore.
Correct, yeah.
Right? Like...
If you're going to get it anyway.
That is the funniest thing.
Like the whole... So I was in this grocery store and it was like, social distancing, keep 2 meters.
Yeah.
Literally to enter the store, you have to go within like 2 feet of someone.
Yeah.
And I was like, so it's bullshit?
That's
or
all.
you're just doing it for appearances? Like I'm not touching everyone, right? Like I'm washing my hands, but those are just practices I do all the time.
Well, you meant to amp it up, but I mean, like, it's weird because it feels like you're playing a game. And because it feels silly to do. It's like, oh, I usually just walk straight past this person. Oh, but you have this thought. Maybe I should step to the left and then walk past them. And then,
but
you realize you're doing it. You're like, wait, but they're not doing it as well. So I feel a bit silly doing it.
Sure.
And
yeah.
then you second guess yourself. You're like, wait, should I do this or not? And then it totally works that everyone does it.
Everyone needs to agree to do it if you want it to actually take effect. Because all it takes is one person to break that entire chain. And
Correct.
I know that there are people out there who are breaking the chain.
Yeah.
Or else there wouldn't be more cases cropping up, right? So I don't know. It's a weird place. You stay inside. That's what I'm doing.
Good video game. I can recommend Mountain Blade. Download a mod that includes Easterlings, and your life will be fulfilled.
Is that
really?
Fulfilled, hey?
Yeah. That's my life for the last
3 months?
years. Yeah. When did I lose my job?
Mark's been preparing for coronavirus for a very long time.
Yeah.
Been practicing unemployment. Pretty good at it now.
Practicing scamming the government.
Which is a break from scamming your Patreon members. So,
Exactly. I'm scamming everyone. Really.
He's a con man.
refined
Oh yeah,
scanner.
definitely a con man.
I'm looking at these models. They look pretty good.
Yeah, the
Obviously
old
done a lot of
Liber
work.
Malleus. Yeah, I haven't really posted any update pictures because I'm still waiting on shoulder pads and bases. So it's like I don't want to post half finished stuff. But like I've painted 38 of the 40 models that we sold. So
Just you fucking wait, listeners. Wait till you get your eyes on these things. They
good.
look sick.
yeah,
Like it screams Lorehammer. Like you've got the color.
It screams it at you.
Screams it at you. I mean, there could be more books, but other than that, maybe some more
Some
reading.
scroll work or something.
Well, yeah. So I have a bunch of purity seals. I'm
Okay.
gonna glue on afterwards, but I'm waiting for the shoulder pads because then that way I have the entire model, so I can evenly spread stuff out everywhere on the model. So I have a bunch of them separate. I just haven't glued them on.
You should get a fuckload of scrolls. Like
Yeah,
that
no, I
makes
have
sense.
I have
Yeah.
a bunch that I'm just gonna paint on the sprue and then just stick them on. But yeah, like I said, I'm just waiting for these extra bits and shit.
What are they gonna say? Have you thought about it?
The books?
They're
No,
gonna-
the scrolls that you put on the models. What
Oh,
are you gonna
yeah,
write on them?
yeah,
What are you gonna
yeah.
write on them? Yeah.
Just a lot of hateful things towards Xenos.
Yeah.
Typical kind
And
of
they're
Imperium stuff.
Primaris brothers.
Yeah. Wish we were them.
Every
Yeah.
skull is just fuck Primaris. Every scraper.
Why wasn't I made as good as that guy? Why am I so weak?
At least I'm more tactically viable.
Do I even deserve to live?
Someone paid for my existence.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Oh God.
People should be able
I
to
never
decide.
asked for this.
People should be able to decide what's written on the script of their model they purchased.
No.
Should be a part.
No.
Why not, Eric? Why not give them
Because-
that pleasure?
Because
Because
here's
then
the
someone's
thing.
gonna say like, "Hey, put anus on
Yeah.
mine,"
People
and
are
I'll be
dickheads.
like,
With that.
"Well,
There
what's
might be
wrong with that?"
Space Marine that loves anus, man. He might be a gay Marine. Don't you show people what you love? It's a weird, deep question. Love.
Not in public,
No,
Dylan.
all right.
Yeah.
No, it's been funny on the Discord. I'm calling out a bunch of fucking idiots right now. Like every now and again, I post something like with very explicit message. Like we did an AMA episode, and I'm like, oh yeah, in the Discord, like, hey, we're gonna do an AMA. Ask questions. Only post questions here. No meme shit. Like
Don't answer them. Let us
don't
discuss
answer.
it.
Yeah, just
Right.
and I had to go through like 50 messages and just delete. Where it's like, oh, this is cool. It's like, can you not just fucking follow basic instructions? Like,
Well, the short answer is no.
no, apparently
Well, it's
not.
not school. People are sitting at their computers with their fucking dick in hands, ready to go.
Yeah,
on
just
Discord, like-
ready to. Oh,
They're not paying
All
attention
right,
to
here's
that.
another
Yeah.
one.
They think what they're saying is funny, therefore they're
oh
gonna
yeah,
post it.
and
Yeah.
some of it was kind of like, but it's like, fuck,
Is
come
that how you
on.
laugh?
Oh yes.
What's wrong with you?
Lots, but
Fair.
yeah, no. That's my true laugh.
You should practice that.
That is my true laugh. Everything else is fake.
Is that good?
I don't like that.
What happened to your orcs? That was way better than these stupid Lorehammer
They're
models.
just
They've sat
Replace
untouched
I'm
space
for
social
how
distancing
long?
from them. They're just
Man.
6 feet away from me right
It's
now.
almost like you saw 100 of them and you're like, not today.
No. What ended up happening is like I bought them all, and then winter happened, and it's fucking cold in the garage. So I'm like, I'm not going outside.
You know they're portable.
No, but
And you know you
I
have
bring them
warmth
inside.
in other areas of the world, so you can combine those two.
No.
No? Is that too complicated?
I don't want that nerd shit in my house.
You can
okay?
big brain that to bring them inside?
I don't want that
Big,
nerd shit.
big brain.
Your wife will kick them out.
Nah, and then there's cats like harassing me. I'm swinging a blade around, and the cats are biting me and shit. It's not a good situation. I don't have a good home life.
You should paint the tip of your cat's tail yellow, orange. The Lorehammer
I had
bright orange.
buddy who he had I forget what type of bird, but it was just like a fucking pigeon or something. And he would always dye it with food color, absurd colors.
Fuck. Is that
Andrew.
like safe?
Me?
Of course. Yeah, it's
What an
Is it safe?
outlandish character.
yeah.
you
So
fucking
like
paint
I'd
the
come
bird?
It
over.
must be safe, right? Like,
Yeah, it's just like food coloring.
But didn't
So yeah, so I don't know. Birds seem fine, but it was always very fucking crazy.
birds
Like,
seem fine.
Birds seem fine. Birds seem fine.
I'm not a birdman, so I don't know. But yeah, it's always an amusing bird. He eventually lost it because he's like, oh yeah, it's a pigeon. It'll come back. So he left it out, or he let it outside, and it's just like, God,
It'll come back.
never came back.
Never.
It's just like, Andrew, come on,
God,
buddy.
be
what
easy
did
to
you
find.
think?
It's just like, it was a pigeon.
It would come back.
Well, you
Jeez.
should paint your cat, the colors of lava to represent where it came from.
The
Maybe
The
some
pits of
fucking
hell.
Pits of fucking 8th level of hell, I think.
Oh, that
Yeah.
cat is messed up.
Cats are fucked up.
Holy.
What color would you paint it?
I wouldn't paint cats because I don't want to get near to that
Because
thing.
you're not a cat man. You're not a bird man.
I'm neither of those.
Neither
I
of
am.
those men's.
No.
He's a goat man.
goatman.
Yeah, I like hanging out with a goat, particularly one. Eric.
He got a
He's the goat
haircut.
man.
Does his haircut make him more or less like a goat?
Let's see.
You fuck off.
I want to see Eric with a buzzed head. Can everybody please send Lorehammer as many emails as
Yikes.
possible requesting Eric's buzzed head and mighty Viking beard? I think that aesthetic would suit you.
So check out this picture. Of
What
me
is this
and Eric.
picture?
It's a picture of me and Eric.
Wait, is that a wedding photo or is that? Are you sure it's him?
that-
I can't tell. His hair's a little longer than.
No,
just
this is
slightly.
mine and Eric's wedding photo.
That's the gayest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Well, the first picture was a picture of a
That
goat.
was the day that Mark
And-
really learned
Really learned. What did Mark learn?
who I am.
What to expect
I
from
don't
this
like
relationship.
it. I don't like
Yeah.
it.
That was when we broke down the barrier of common man friendship and we entered into a new era of what's it called when just two people
Marital
who have
love.
never been physical before
Uh-huh.
and then all of a sudden like transcend all physical boundaries and their minds touch each other. What's that called?
I don't like it.
Coital reverence.
Maybe
Coital-
that's what we did.
Coital
And
reverence.
what was birthed of that was Lorehammer.
Absolutely,
It took you
yeah.
guys to fuck each other.
The gestation period, oh my God, was so long. And then to birth this, the birthing pains that we collectively went through.
And I don't know, lots of people don't know this, but the first one actually didn't take. We had a Lorehammer miscarriage even because we recorded an episode with Christian as a main
Yeah.
host. A main host, could you believe it? We were so
Yeah.
foolish to think he could be reliable, and then we never released.
Well, it
that
was
episode.
cursed.
The universe stepped
Yeah.
in.
And then we recorded again without him, but
In this-
with him.
yeah.
It worked.
In
yeah.
the same way that like there was the 21st cursed founding,
Uh-huh.
we had a cursed founding, a cursed child, some would say, and fated to not last beyond our earhole conception. But now
Uh-huh.
our child is growing. It's pretty popular child.
we got a popular little child.
He's pretty
Listen
friendly.
to this child.
Very social. This
kind of
child.
demanding.
Oh, very demanding.
Very expensive as well,
Yeah.
but also money generating.
That's okay because people, oddly enough, seem to enjoy giving money for the growth of this child.
It's nice. We've got to see a child grow.
Soon, hopefully, we take it out. We raise this child away from being a child and into its tween to teen years, and then we might see some really
That's where
crazy
we can get
shit.
really weird with it.
Yeah.
When
Well,
will be
once it goes through, when it goes through puberty, I mean, who knows, right? Like, the changes that can happen.
You just start putting like a 5-o'clock shadow on the servo skull. It's like, oh, it's finally getting a beard.
That's right. Yeah.
Slowly but surely.
Put like 5 mustache hairs, like really thick.
Oh
though.
yes.
Yeah. Perfect.
Steal some of yours.
I don't like this.
I don't like this.
I don't.
Lorehammer is our child, Mark.
It is a baby.
How does that make you feel?
Have you
Well-
listened to... Oh, sorry.
Well, the funniest thing that has happened in a long time in my life was the discovery of Shazoogle.
The fuck is that?
Basically, it's if Snoop Dogg was to read the internet, so you can Google search something on Shazoogle, and then it will
It translates all the text on whatever you're looking at
Oh
into
my god. Into Snoop
Snoop
Dogg
Dogg.
language. What is the name of the language?
Snoop
Shazoogle.
Snoop
Snoop?
language. Snoopy.
Snooperish.
Snoopy.
Snoopy.
Snoopish. I don't know.
So I'm gonna read you one of these because they're pretty funny. Let's read.
So
it Snoop
is this
Dogg
from
lyrics?
our website?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think you have to rap it because it's written
no.
in Snoop Dogg-ish.
Well, maybe you should read one then.
Also, I mean, I think you got this.
You just have
No.
to flow with it.
I have no rhythm or
Guess it.
style.
Yeah.
I can barely read. You want me to put on?
We
a
want to
rap?
witness that. You have to prove it.
What, a rap man?
Definitely not a. So this one is called Motherfucker Lore 6. So that's
So it's
like-
listener lore 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just to replace words with motherfucker.
Welcome, Bazizzle, to our Bazizzy of a lore where we shiznare Zizzle stories written upon the back of Zizzle's 40k universes. Backs. In this epizizzle, we shizzle stories from Side Dizzles, Eldar, and Cormora. That homies Imperial Knights.
Oh my god.
And Macy's Dark Angel Knight in Wings Compizzle.
That was great.
Yeah, there's some really funny
There
ones.
was no cadence or flow though.
No,
So I feel
no.
like you fucked it up.
No.
Maybe at some point in your life you should learn how to read.
Nah, I don't.
No?
I don't recommend
When
it.
will you go to school, Mark?
I'm locked down. I can't.
Fuck!
We're not allowed, Dylan. He's
no learning.
sensitive
I'm not-
about
I don't
that,
wanna
okay?
break the
No
law.
learning. That's all we got left to do, guys. Learn and adapt.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's
So
ridiculous.
I know me personally,
Yeah.
like I've been doing some hobby time.
What have you been doing? What have you been working on recently?
Great nights.
You've been doing your grey nights.
Yeah.
Cool. Are your necrons
And
all
by
done?
that you mean
Everything's
you've
done, necrons?
got somebody else to do it for you.
That's right. What I meant to say is
Hold
I
the
got
phone.
someone else to base all my Grey Knight for me.
The same thing like the Lorehammer thing? The Lorehammer Marines?
No, they're mine.
Same dude? Oh,
Oh, yes, same dude.
same dude.
Yeah,
Is
Ian.
this the commission painter?
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
g'day, Ian. Got to meet this bloke. All right.
Yeah, he's pretty
Did he
cool.
go do a job? Did he do a good job?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
I just
What color?
airbrushed them silver.
It's just airbrushing them
Great.
like Grey Knight silver.
Great. Nailed it.
Yeah.
Fucking nailed it.
You
dude.
got it.
I can't believe you
Jeez.
guessed the right color. That's sick. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Not green knights?
No, not Green Knights. No, because
Every
not
now
though?
and again, I get like trigger messages from Eric where he's like, "Check what this fucking guy did to this Grey Knight." It's like a Grey Knight painted all silver, but then he has a blue shoulder pad. It's just like, that's not fucking how it works.
Fucking nerd.
Yeah. So that's always fun.
that's
Are they still grey knights if they're not grey?
no.
If a tree falls the wood, can anyone hear it?
Why is this Ultramarine
No, that's-
using a Force Nemesis halberd?
Yeah, that's like the thing. A lot of people they take the Grey Knight model and it's very obviously Grey Knight. It's very obvious Aegis armor, and they slap like Imperial Fist yellow on him, and they're like, he's an Imperial Fist guy, and it's like, well, actually no, he's not because he's a Grey Knight.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like in a fantasy universe
No,
where your
no, no, no,
imagination
no,
can
no.
run
there are
wild,
some
There are hard and
some
fast
rules.
rules.
Like, can you?
Isn't it subjective?
No.
No.
Can't you just
No.
kind of pick
Not
and
everything.
choose?
Not everything is subjective.
Not
There
everything?
are some things. There are some objective truths though. Like fuck.
The Emperor's a dickhead. You can't
Yeah.
argue with that.
Yeah.
Ultramarines are blue.
It all seems pretty subjective to
Like
me.
Ultramarines. Ultramarines are blue. Yeah. They always have been blue. They always will be blue.
They're perceived blue, but your blue might be different to mine.
Absolutely.
If I paint mine red, you can't say it's not blue.
Do you see that as blue or red?
Yeah, it's definitely blue.
Well, then you need to get your eyes checked.
Maybe you too. Hey?
Well, I'm saying like ultramarines are blue, and they always are blue, and they always will be blue.
Yeah.
Painting something not blue makes it immediately not an ultramarine. Right?
Yeah.
Or the ultramarine symbol, like the symbol. Like you slap that all over your guy and you paint it like yellow, then people would be like, oh, like this doesn't make any sense. He's very obviously wearing the ultramarine symbol, but he's painted in a weird color. Right? Or you give him like a Tyranid flesh borer weapon. Like how the fuck would that work? It just subjectively, sure, you could make a great model. Does it make sense? Yeah. Absolutely not. But yeah.
That's neither here nor there.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
Paint him you for ugly marine. But no, I mean, obviously, you can do what you please. At the end of the day.
No.
Or you can follow the rules or not.
No.
Yeah.
You have to do exactly what me and Eric want. Otherwise,
You guys are
we
setting
will
the standard.
send our horde of listeners after you. Like,
Army.
yeah.
What? So how's progress on the marines on the knights?
The what?
On the knights? Are they going along?
They're silver.
Oh, how are the
Yeah,
knights?
how's
They are
progress?
now silver.
Oh yeah. No, they're cool. I have like everything built that I want.
Okay.
And everything is like based now. It's all just waiting for me to actually pick out details, wash and paint. So
So you still making color decisions?
nope. In Grey Knights,
Because they're Grey Knights.
yeah.
So, you know,
if
they're-
you're painting them how they should look, like there's very little actual color that you could pick out. Like
Interesting.
like the Aegis is very like all the writing should be gold. Right, like all the there's red and white pads that they have on their shoulders, and to do them other colors might be a little different. And so there's it's not hard to pick out colors for them. It's just sitting down and actually painting. That's tough.
Yeah.
So.
Do you enjoy painting the model itself? Like
I
painting
hate
a Grey
painting.
Knight?
Oh,
you don't like the Grey Knight? Painting on a Grey Knight?
I just don't like painting.
Yeah.
It's
What do you do while you paint?
I listen to music.
Okay.
Fuck his girlfriend.
While he
Painting
paints.
models. Fucks models while painting models.
That's right.
You have a space marine on the small of a back while you just
Yeah.
got a paintbrush and
I twerk
spine.
while I paint. Yeah.
Most best painters do, I think.
Yeah, that's all the best ones.
I've been craving.
I've never seen Duncan twerk.
Oh, you're missing out because it's a glorious thing.
I've been getting the urge. I mean, I've been thinking about it. I haven't picked up a paintbrush for a while, so
Yeah, we even hung out the other day and did some painting.
I wanted to paint a space marine. So I looked at my models and I don't want to paint another fucking orc. I painted 10,000 orcs. I'm gonna paint another fucking orc.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what I want? I just kind of like flat like armor plating. That's what I want to play.
Really?
Let's just play the space marine. Yeah. So I came over here and also it's been a while since I painted again. So I wanted to relearn in case I have to go into quarantine. It was a way to fucking spend 14 days. Without tearing your hair out. So painting would be a cool way to do that. So yeah, I picked up a model. And Mark's like, "Here's all my pieces left." So I built a model. I didn't intend to building one, but he made me build one. It's fun. So I built two, one for me and one for my girlfriend. And I'm gonna teach her how to paint.
Okay.
To self-isolate together, I guess.
Right, because you'll be quote unquote painting.
Well, yeah, same way you
model.
twerking and painting.
That's
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
I said, this is why you get no progress done. You're
Too busy twerking.
too busy fucking twerking.
If you
Leave
cut
me-
your
leave
dick
me
off,
alone.
you'll have a much easier time.
So did you decide on how you're painting your marine?
No, I still have to make color decisions. I'm also restricted to my color palette, which is all my fucking ridiculous colors.
Oh, so it's really bright color.
Yeah, that's all I got. So like, I'm like, because I'm a bit inspired by the Lorehammer models. They do look fucking awesome, and it's very monochromatic, but with the bright orange highlights, just like on very select areas.
Yeah.
I'm thinking something like that, and I just got jealous of how clean your lines are. And even when I started doing that marine, I realized I was just like getting brushes everywhere, like strokes everywhere. I'm like, oh, I can't nowhere near as the level you are. So it's a bit of a reality check.
A thing that I seen is just like even how people hold their model matters a lot. You got to make like a triangle with your arms and rest both your elbows on the table, hands touching each other. Like I started doing that and like it increases your stability. So
like
very cool.
Putting hands together like that, stuff like that.
yeah, like you want to be able to make at least 3 points of contact with your arms. So elbow on table, and then your hands are touching each other, and then
wrist together.
everything's all stable. So, yeah, like there's 1,000 tips. Like I'm honestly not a good painter. I just know tricks like that. So go try doing that next time you go home. Make 3 points of contact, and it's going to increase your game just incredibly.
Do you do that naturally, Eric? Yeah?
Yeah.
Because I the first time I picked it up, I also did that naturally. And
Yeah.
someone commented to me on that. He's like, you're already painting like a pro, where you're trying to put your wrist together as you're painting. And it kind of makes that, it feels like a natural kind of, secure way to hold a model.
Yeah, I know. I didn't
Cool.
paint like that.
So you weren't painting like that, then
No.
you started and made a giant difference.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
I think like the height of the desk I'm at forced me to do it because every time painting with you, I'm at weird heights. Whereas now, like I'm at a desk and my elbows naturally rest on the table, and it's a natural pose as opposed to painting like at that thing. That's not natural. The
How dare you?
height you have there. Where you are,
It's not natural.
It's a weird height, and the chair makes it unreliable, and it's super movey and squeaky. And it's hard to
The
stabilize.
squeaky,
man.
yeah.
Just stick it in a friend's mouth and paint it like use friend's face as a way to secure the model down.
And that's like to dry your brush off as well. You just wipe it on their cheek, right?
yeah.
Like, what's the problem?
That's good shit.
They use their greasy face as a wet palette.
Gross. Mixing in oils, natural oils to your
spinning.
paint.
Just opening them up. You see, that's where you get your water from. You're mixing it in the mouth.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's good shit.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh, that's cool.
No, painting, man, it's a lot of just technique and doing it the right way. It honestly is.
And we have so much resources available to us. You can
That's
look
the
online.
thing.
You have a million people you can talk to.
Yeah.
That's cool. Have you been painting a lot? Like, are you disciplined? Do you paint every day?
Oh
Do you,
yeah,
like,
I'm.
have a bit of a routine?
I've been painting every day for like the last year, pretty much.
Yeah, okay.
Like so it's funny. Like
Sorry, did you say every day for a year?
pretty close to it, man. So Eric, so last year, Colin made a New Year's Eve or New Year's resolution post.
Yeah.
And for me, he chose finish my Tau. I'm now 4 armies deep.
Yeah.
Like I painted a lot. I painted like 4 full armies.
Which is insane.
But like every day for a year is just crazy.
Yeah, like I've missed days here and there, of course, but like it's been pretty consistent.
it's a routine. It's how you get shit done. Like you need
like
that kind of routine.
Yeah, just an hour a day, even half-hour days,
Yeah.
it goes a long way.
Sure.
Like, and especially if you have like a dedicated setup where you don't.
You don't have to unpack every time you want to do
Yeah.
it. That makes a big difference.
Is that your case? Do you have a painting area?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Like I have an area where they all go, but I still have to unpack some stuff every time I do it.
Yeah.
Just because I have cats, and if like I leave water out, they're gonna get into it, and I have to make sure like all my paints are actually away and my brushes are clean and put away, or else they'll just fuck on it, right? So.
Yeah. That's a shame. Yeah, pets.
I mean, it's okay. It's okay. I don't
Adds
mind.
an extra 2 minutes to the process, but
Yeah, it's a psychological thing is all it is. Like if I pull this out, I know I'm gonna have to put it all away, or I could just play Diablo,
Yeah, which is
or I could just watch TV.
I had a sweet setup back in Australia.
scum of the earth.
When we moved into an apartment, I got 2 desks and I put a swivel chair between them.
Yeah.
So my computer desk on one side, and I just swivel around is my painting desk.
Yeah.
And so I was sick of playing video games. I paint for a while. Sick of painting, just play video games. I just go back and forth, back and forth. And I was in the middle of my living area.
That's where the depression really took over. That's
where he got
I
the
need
smell.
to make some,
The smell really set in that moment.
Helped me get sober. It definitely helped for the most part. When I came to this stupid country, everything changed.
And now you're stuck here.
Well, I'm your number 1 fan, so I have to. I have a commitment.
Are
to
you the
podcast.
number 1 fan?
Has
don't
anyone
believe
else flown across the world?
Yes.
Well, not across the world.
Exactly.
Well, what's
Exactly.
across the world?
Matt can get fucked. Matt got in no trouble for as far as I did. What ocean did you cross, Bud?
Bud, my God. Yeah. You have to put in A to show that you're actually Canadian. Like, where'd you cross from, Bud, eh?
Bud, eh? No, it's good. I'm going for permanent residency. I want to stay.
Are you?
Yeah.
That's
I
cool.
submitted the application. I'm extending my visa. I'm going to stay. So I want to be here rather than home. And then all this shit happened with fucking this virus and stuff. So now it's weird. I'm like looking at my family. I'm like, oh, you're all so far away during the apocalypse, and it's a bit of a weird feeling, but it's for the best.
Permanent though, hey?
Well, I think what my goal will be is I'll go for I can get dual citizenship eventually, and then get 2 passports.
Because it's
Just go back and
Commonwealth.
forth.
Yeah.
Let's go back and forth, and I can just choose.
Very cool.
But I will get kicked out if I don't extend it. I'll make a decision. So I chose to extend it. So,
Very cool.
But it's all time sensitive what happens next, and with all the shit going on, I hope it doesn't slow down the process. So we'll find out.
Yeah. But at the same
I
time, I
wonder.
doubt they're going to kick you out if you go over.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
And if anyone else flies in from overseas, Mark will have you on your couch, and he'll look after you. He'll feed you. He'll have you on the podcast.
These are promises that Dylan is qualified
fly
to
over,
make.
guys. Just fly over.
Yeah,
Don't even be afraid. Walk over the border. I heard you can't fly these days.
Yeah.
Lorehammer used to be fearless. You know, we used to be like, come fly from Australia, join us on our podcast.
But then we had a bad experience.
Yeah, someone actually came from Australia. they stayed here, and now we're like, we're never fucking doing that again. Like,
And then you had to buy a gun.
multiple
There's
guns.
microphones next to the guns. and it's shooting away other listeners. Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Holy. Are you going to go back anytime soon? You got any plans to like
broke,
vacation?
Man. I'm a poor boy. I don't have a
No, I mean like in like 2 years or something.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice. I did got in the mail an invitation to my friend's wedding. One of my best friends back in Australia, and she's getting married in Bali. So she's getting married to a Canadian, which is really funny. Who I met in Australia. Yeah, so that's next year. So I need to find a way to get to Bali for a wedding next year, which I'll see everyone who haven't seen since I've arrived. So that'd be cool.
Just start selling your body and hitching your way down there.
You can make a lot of
You're
money.
a supple young man.
I got that Corona. Do you want that Corona? I can give you that Corona. Okay, I'll stop.
Do you have beers in your hand or virus? I don't know. Yeah.
One and
Beers,
one.
obviously.
Yeah. I'm going to put my hands behind my back. Either way, you're getting a Corona.
That's what you want.
Yeah.
That's good. Are you happy to have me, Eric? Would you be
Here?
sad if I went home?
Absolutely.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Well, if I went home, I'd bring you with me.
Put me in your
Alive
bag.
or dead?
No, chopped up in little bits.
Oh,
Little
okay.
bit.
Easier to package.
There's nowhere else I can
Yeah.
bring him.
You bring an eyeball. You bring part of my brain. Some fingers so I can touch things.
With the
right?
promise, I'll try my best to reconstruct you on the other side.
As a dreadnought.
Look, you may
You're
just
just
be
like
a grunt,
attached
but
to like an office chair. Like,
Just duct tape.
you are office chair now.
Yeah.
Why am I
Dreadnought.
alive?
I love you, Eric. I love you, Dylan.
Sit on you like a toilet. It's like, why'd you pull your pants down? Because it's you. It's like, what?
you go right to the gay stuff with them always.
I didn't play that.
He knows I like it. That's fine.
That's good shit. No, it's a good country, guys. Everyone come to Canada. It's great. It's fucking cold.
I love Canada.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. You guys
There's
have
some
always
things
been.
I don't like about it.
Well, the
people.
Australians that come over. Yeah,
There's
yeah.
some shitty people.
There's a
here
lot
for
of
sure.
those.
But
There's a lot of those.
There's a lot of Australians,
There's a
actually, especially in the mountain area.
Especially in the mountain area.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Which is what everybody asks me. Do you ski or snowboard? You know, you hit up the slopes part. It's like, not.
I play video games.
So why'd you come to Canada?
Yeah.
Fucking played.
They have better internet here.
I was listening to a nerdy podcast and they convinced me to do it. I don't know. It's just like it's like the weakest story. It's kind of funny. It's like,
That is
do you ski?
I
or
was
snowboard?
listening to a podcast and they said I should come. Fuck.
Hey, I need a change in my life. Can I sleep on your couch? Oh yeah, no worries. I'll give you a couch.
Yeah, you can live with my parents for a bit. Fuck.
How are your parents?
I don't know.
They're in Florida.
Yeah.
Are they in
sure.
quarantine?
Who knows?
Who knows? Hard to say.
We don't talk with them.
My mother has upset me so
Yeah.
deeply.
Me too.
What?
Yeah.
Why? Your mom's a lovely lady. Why would you do that?
Oh, she's a hurtful.
She can be a lovely lady.
It's a
She
very
absolutely can be.
Uncharacteristic of her. What did she do to you?
She guilt tripped me.
Ooh, is that why you're not happy with her?
Yeah.
She be in Florida?
What?
She guilt tripped you into doing what?
No, so like I've been working for my brother for the past like 4 months or something like that. Like I've literally put in like probably 400 hours with him. And I am getting paid, so it's not a big deal. But so we're renovating his house or a house he just got. And then a couple weekends ago, my mom's like, I wish you worked more for Brant. And she's like, it's Saturday, you should go help him. He's really stressed out. It's like, bitch, like I've put in so many hours with him. Like I'm taking a day off. Fuck it. I have things to do. I don't know. She just was trying to guilt trip me into it. It's like
You're gonna be a
petty.
brother, bro. Be a brother, bro. I mean,
I'm like, have you talked to Kurt yet, Mom? Like,
she's just like completely ignored your other brother.
yeah, it's just like,
Said
fuck.
about
I'm
Brad.
trying to guilt trip.
Make sure he's not sick. Go over there now. Test his temperature.
It's just like, fuck.
Look after him.
Does he need soup? Get him some
Yeah,
soup.
it's just like, come on, what the fuck?
Did she ask how you were?
No, she literally called me to like guilt trip me into go spending a weekend helping
That's so
Brant
good.
after I just worked for him all week.
That's so good.
That's
like-
actually funny.
You gotta kidding me.
How's your brother? Is he alright?
Oh,
Which
yeah.
one?
He's yeah.
The one that matters.
He's fine.
Is he? I mean, after you helped him all week, do you think he just like hit your mum up for a laugh and was like, you should convince mum to
Yeah,
come
yeah.
back over?
Exactly. I could see him doing that.
Fucking
too.
cunt. Yeah, absolutely.
This is all Brand's fault.
Oh fuck.
No, he's on his last rope. He's a sad little boy.
He's a hurting man.
Yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't laugh. It's so sad. He's a sad little man.
He's living in that garage still. But then he's like talking about maybe when he finishes this rental house, he's gonna live in the basement. It's like, oh yeah, then I'll be able to bring girls over and they won't find it weird. I'm like, oh really? So you're actually gonna live here? He's like, yeah, like I'm gonna move my mattress and a TV into this house. Like that's all. They're still gonna find that incredibly weird, Brad.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's still a serial murder's house.
Yeah, that's still not gonna be good for the women if you just have a mattress and a TV.
And the TV is probably like an 80-inch.
Yeah.
Like he absolutely loves big
on a concrete
TVs.
floor, and it's like with tools around.
And it's probably hooked up to an extension cord that like snakes around the wall for some reason. Like it's not plugged into the outlet that's right there. And
there's reasons for it.
yeah,
Us lesser men can't understand.
You should get him a Lorehammer tapestry like that one, except just write Brant hammer and then put an arrow towards where he keeps his hammer.
Oh, and then my mom can be like, "Oh, I'm so proud of you, Brant. You're so creative."
I can't believe you got that, Brant.
Oh my god, I can't believe you run a successful podcast, Brant. You're so popular, Brant. I can't believe you do this, Brant.
I have some
unresolved issues.
You
should work those things out on the podcast. Invite him back on.
Yeah. Well, no.
Figure
Kathy?
out. Discern between
on the podcast.
Now that's a Lorehammer lockdown. Lock Kathy and Brant in here. We can work our shit
Sort out your issues on the podcast. So why are you the favorite child? Let's talk about the reasons it could be.
Let's go through all of your children and talk about why they are either great or terrible.
I just want to be left alone. Yeah. That's all.
By who?
By my parents.
Your mom
I don't want to
never
be their favorite. I don't want to be Kurt. I just want to be left alone. You know?
I don't want to be a favorite.
I don't want to be their favorite. And I don't want to be Kurt.
I just want to be left alone, okay?
What's sad is your mom will never appreciate like what this is really. You know what I mean?
No, but I will be like, hey mom, I think you should listen to this one episode. You're gonna find it enjoyable, and I'll link her this one, and she can listen. Boy. That'll be fun.
That's not fun.
And then I'll link her some more ones where we talk about religion and stuff, and that'll be fun as well.
I had my grandparents over for dinner probably like a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago or something.
Yeah.
And I was showing them around the house, and they got to the room where my Warhammer is stored. And they saw, like, I have, like, a glass case with, like, all my Necron there. Yeah. So they saw it, and they're like, what is this? And I was, like, cooking meatballs in the kitchen, so they're with Megan, my girlfriend. And she's like, I don't know. So Megan comes into the kitchen. She's like, can you go talk to them in there?
What is this?
No,
yeah,
dodges the question.
Absolutely. So I go in there, and I'm like, how do you explain wargaming, like mini wargaming, to someone who's like much older and like from a very different, like even board games aren't super huge. Like card games are decent, like for them, but like not board games. And so trying to explain it to them. And then I heard Megan like shout from the kitchen, like, tell them about your podcast.
Oh, no.
And I was like,
oh no.
So I'm like, oh yeah, do you guys know what podcasts are? And they're like, no.
Yeah. Do you know what the internet is?
Yeah, like you know what the internet is.
Let's back it up.
No.
Let's back up. You know what the internet is.
It was one of those weird conversations where I was like, not like I have to tell you what podcasts are.
Okay, hold on. I'm the grandparent. I'm the old person. Yeah. Okay, I'm looking at your models. I'm having to look through the glass. I have no fucking idea what's going on. I'm looking at Megan. She's clueless.
Why is like 1% of these painted?
Oof.
So Eric. I've played checkers in my time. But, I own a personal computer. But what the fuck am I looking at, Eric?
Yeah, I think I explained it like. It's like Risk, but very much micromanaging, and you play on like a set board, and you recreate a battle, and you have an army, and your friend has an army, and you meet, and you roll dice and follow rules, and you see who's the victor. I think that's like how I explained the game.
Risk
itself.
is a good analogy.
I think Risk is good. They're also very. I use chess as well because they play chess. So they're very familiar with like, okay, this piece has this move set and it can do these things. And I said like some pieces are like pawns and some pieces are like castles, and they function differently, and you have to use them together to create strategy. And so I think I did a decent way explaining the game. Podcasting was, I think, something that I didn't explain very well.
Yeah, you just gotta say I have a radio show.
That wouldn't have been bad.
That's what I did with my grandma, because I was like trying to tell my grandma as well.
Yeah.
And then when we finished the studio, I brought her over and like to show her the studio and stuff. It's like, oh, I get it now. Yeah, you do radio. I'm like, yeah, I guess I do radio.
You didn't use the word radio when you explained it?
No, I didn't.
That's the easiest.
I was trying to say like there's these. I tried to say
Eric's
like
not really good at
at words.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was trying to tell them that there's like there's a resource on the internet that you can go and find any topic that you want, and then someone is talking to you about this topic. Either they're with other people, and even within like one topic you can have different opinions and people. I know how I explained it, I guess, was very complicated.
See, at least
you call them right now and tell them it's a radio show.
You listen here, Grandma.
Chess is relatable because it's medieval times. So they understand that. And,
well, they play chess.
And so is Risk. It's World War II. These are eras they've been through. So it's hard to explain something so modern.
Yeah, World War II to my grandpa who's German. He gets it.
These are games they know. They played very well and
very
realistically.
World War II. These are
games they played. They know them very well.
But yeah, radio show is the easiest way. You're like,
radio is a good way to describe it.
How the fuck else do you explain it, man?
Yeah,
it's a weird thing because you just feel like a super nerd.
Oh, totally. But then
it's a noble language.
But the Lorehammer is also like kind of a sense of pride for me as well, right? Because it's
artwork.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's also successful, right? So then it's not only am I trying to explain a medium called podcasting that they've never heard of before, but then I have to explain like the popularity of podcasts because I also want to show them like it's a successful thing. I'm not doing this because I'm bored.
Yeah,
I'm doing it because I hate myself. Right? So, initially when I started this podcast, I was like, how can I spend more time with Mark and want to
die?
Yeah, exactly. And it was podcasting was the answer. So here we are.
You put microphones in front of your face as you hang out in case one of you kills the
That's
other
right.
person.
You hit the
evidence. So there's the recording of it.
I thought the table was a solid barrier, so we could physically protect ourselves.
Well, that too. I mean, the microphones are just here for security.
Yeah.
So
you pull it off the table and just beat each other with it. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's always the awkward thing. When you start to explain to people, they just have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, if people, and most people know what podcasts are.
Yeah.
Most people. So
what bothers me is like we've all painted to a high level, to a reasonably high level, let's say, and you spend 8, 10, 12, 15 hours on a model, and someone will pick it up and look at it, and they'll assess it within about 6 seconds and then put it down, and it's like, no, pick it back up, look again.
That's right. Yes.
It's the most awkward thing. And as someone who's painted that, like that before, it's like you have to appreciate a model when you pick it up.
Oh, sure. You need to focus on the details, especially us, because we know what it's like, right? Like it's like sharing the craft. We look at things with the same eye as the person who painted it.
Yeah.
Right. Like I'm not an art person. I don't get art or whatever. But my girlfriend is. And so when she looks at things, like she's looking at very different things than what I'm looking at, right? Yeah. I am judging like an ad that I see in like 2 seconds. I'm like, that's shit. And she's like, well, here's why though.
Oh, okay.
Right? And
so she can see between the layers.
Exactly, yeah.
Which is a shame because, you pour your heart and soul into these models, and it's only really appreciated by the people that do the same. It can be glossed over by the regular plebeian, which is
fucking plebs.
a bit disappointing, yeah. Like,
God,
you don't understand.
Plebs.
You try to make them understand. No, there's like so many layers on that. There's that's like 8 layers deep. They're like,
you know how many colors are on this?
Yeah. Yeah, they say, exactly. There's like 82 colors on a thing. And they just
Not
say
me.
red,
I
blue,
say
yellow, done.
you can do this too, Grandma. Let me teach you how.
Here, just listen to Lorehammer Lockdown with Ian. All about painting. And then you too can be a professional painter, Grandma.
Can we jump back to how successful Lorehammer is real quick? I don't want to brag, but I'm gonna brag for a bit. It's very interesting. Like I talk to a lot of people through Lorehammer, and I spend a lot of time doing it. Like I actually do spend a lot of my day just messaging people. So there's this weird thing in the Lorehammer community that people think that Lorehammer is really small, like that we're just some small podcast because we do a lot of community outreach.
Sure. Oh yeah, so they assume like, oh, you must have so much free time.
Yeah, like you have 8 people that you're talking to. No, I have hundreds of people that are trying to talk to me.
Yeah.
So Lorehammer is actually the biggest 40K podcast out there.
Bullshit.
Yes.
Not the most numbers episodes released, but it's the highest downloaded 40K podcast currently.
Yes.
Like on a month-to-month basis, we get the most downloads.
Yeah, like obviously independent characters will have overall more downloads than us. But on a month-to-month basis, we get the most. We are one of the biggest. It's a weird number because
it's
not.
podcasting is not done on one thing.
Yeah.
So there's so many different hosts that there's no single location where you can compile all download data. So you just have to go off of like what the top podcasts say are like the actual download like percentages and stuff. So it's really tough.
So there might be a podcast out there that doesn't release their numbers, and then they might be better than us. But we are the biggest 40K podcast. Just some crazy numbers here that I'm looking at right now on Chartable. We are in Great Britain in the category of hobbies. We are number 4.
In the category of
hobbies. Every hobby out there, we're number 4 in Great Britain.
It's incredibly broad.
In Canada, we're number 5. Like, we're a huge fucking podcast.
Out of every hobby like podcast that's listened to, not produced in Canada, but listened to in Canada, we're number 5.
Yeah. Like it's pretty fucking wild how
for the leisure category in Canada, we're number 18. So that's 2 categories where like one we're in top 10 and the other we're in top 20. And in Great Britain leisure, we're number 24.
Yeah. Out of millions of things. Like how many fucking people nowadays have a shitty podcast?
I think it's like 5 million podcasts right now.
Yeah. We kind of came across another number too where it's like, oh, if you have X amount of downloads, you're in this percentile.
Oh, no. According to November 18th, 2019, there are over 800,000 active podcasts with over 54
active is a key word.
With over 54 million episodes currently available.
Yeah. Cuz there's been probably, triple, quadruple that of non-active podcasts.
Yeah, they just disappear or whatever.
Yeah. But like we're in the top like 4 or 5% of download podcasts in the world.
Can you see what's above you? Do you get that information?
No.
Because you
have to search specifically for podcasts that you're looking for. It like Eric was saying, it's hard to kind of gauge where you're at.
Because we know our numbers.
Yeah,
we know ours, but no one else knows our numbers. Just like we don't know Joe Rogan's numbers or Critical Role's numbers. So all you have to do is measure what's. So one of the things is if you get 20,000 downloads on a new episode within the first 30 days, you are in the top 1% of all podcasts.
It's pretty good.
Right?
Okay.
And then the next jump down, like for the top 5% of all podcasts, if you get 7,700 downloads within 30 days of a new release, you are in the top 5%. We hit around 11,000 downloads on a new episode,
and that's an
within
average
30 days.
Like if we do a Space Marine episode, it's going to be more popular.
Yeah, our Dark Crusade one hit like 15,000 like within 30 days. So we are definitely better than 5%. We're not quite at the 1%, but 1% is like Joe Rogan and like My Murder Mystery or whatever. Like those are like super well known, and ours is so niche.
I can't believe so many people tune in to listen to you fuckwits.
Yeah, it is fucking crazy.
Interesting. It's amazing that you've reached these heights. I mean, please I hope people keep giving you money. This is amazing.
Yeah.
The scam that you're pulling over every single
It's worked
listener.
so far, right?
It's worked so far.
It's crazy,
but
guys.
I don't know. It's one of those weird things that I just want to brag about it for a second. Like, fuck.
Well,
it's quite the accomplishment.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Look, honestly, you're a very humble dude, and that's not something you usually say. So to like kind of just take a moment and just kind of recognize what the fuck you're doing.
No, like at the end of last year, like we kind of went over some of our numbers and shit, and we're like, holy fuck, what happened here? Like, and like at that point, we're like, wow,
we're pulling over 160,000 downloads a month.
Yeah, so it's like
there must be a vacuum. I reckon. Like there must be like a lack of like actual good content for this subject, because there must be only a couple, like a top 5, and that's it, and then it must fall the fuck off. And somehow you guys got in that top 5 or something like that. Maybe. I don't know.
We definitely did choose like a topic that is not really well done.
Yeah.
So that is lore. Like there's not a lot of good lore
podcasts.
podcasts.
There's other mediums that do lore.
Like YouTubes and stuff.
YouTube has like 3 or 4 really well known lore things, but not on podcast stuff.
Yeah.
So.
And that was intentional that we chose to do it like that. Like otherwise we didn't want to just do another fucking this is our battle report of blah, blah, blah.
You can't just talk about your own army every single episode.
Yeah,
like
that's bullshit.
No one gives a shit at the end of the day.
Episode 65 was literally released 30 days ago, and it's 13,300 downloads.
Shit,
Yeah. So to be in the top 5% of podcasts, active podcasts in the world, you need 7,000.
So we're doubling that.
Yeah. And then to be in the top 1%, you need
20,000. So we're probably sitting in 2.5 to 3%, like top of all podcasts in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really weird when you break it down like
it's
that.
It's odd.
Yeah.
Because the math lines up, and you can see what kind of podcast you're around or like the position you should be in.
Yeah.
And to kind of just recognize that level that you've attained, it's a little surreal.
It's fucking crazy to think about.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We really don't talk about any of that kind of stuff at all, ever.
Well, it doesn't, like, the odd thing is we could be in the top, we could be getting 60,000 downloads for an episode release, and our life probably, like, how we do this probably would not change.
No.
That's the thing, is it's hard to gauge.
It would maybe just change to more.
I disagree.
Yeah, but like as a business, if a business is being successful, it's very obvious because more people are buying from them. They're moving more product. They're selling more things. But with us, like, it might not change at all. Literally, like what we do right now, we could double or triple our download numbers, and we might never feel anything different.
You're already feeling it, and you already have.
Yeah.
Look around us. You literally renovated your entire garage to become a studio.
Yeah.
There is foam on the walls, which means you're serious business.
That's it.
It looks like
We're not
foam,
fucking
which
around.
is funny. But like that's representative of change and the growth.
Yeah.
Also,
There
you
was
hosted a tournament last year.
Yeah,
wouldn't
that was
have
really
happened.
cool.
Yeah.
And you got a bunch of people sign
That's
up and pay
right.
money to do so.
I forgot about that. We
You've
did
met
a
so many
successful
People
tournament.
have messaged like a whole bunch saying, "Are you doing it again?" And I'm
Correct.
Like, yeah.
You guys have
Probably.
met so
Yeah,
many people in
like-
real life and thousands online. Like, I think you're lying to say that you haven't felt the impact or that it hasn't grown
Maybe.
in some way, man. Like, look around us. This
Yeah.
is you never would have imagined that it would get to the point where you necessitate
No,
a
so
studio.
I remember on like when me and Eric were originally like talking about the podcast, we're like, oh, just imagine if like 100 people listened to it. That would be worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm like, let's get fucking crazy with it. Let's say 1,000 people listen. And it's like we have some episodes I think that have almost broken 50,000 downloads.
Oh no, definitely.
So-
I can find the highest listened to. It's going to
Yeah,
be
I've
the
never-
Warp.
I've never even. I don't know which
Yeah.
one. I haven't really checked. But
The Warp is going to be the highest listened because
Yeah, so it's
everybody
like-
starts there.
Episode 1, yeah.
Yeah.
But-
Which is funny because it's like a really shitty
Yeah, it's raw
episode.
shit, yeah.
yeah, we've talked about doing like
Redoing it.
No, I think I think you should leave it forever.
No, like,
because there's a reason you popularity.
leave it
I started
there,
man. Yeah, like
But redo it how we would do it today. Because
Oh,
we do
okay.
our episodes very differently
I see.
today
Let me show you something, Dylan.
compared
Yeah,
to
yeah.
how we did it before.
because I mean, it kind of introduced like the rawness is very you. We got to know who you were in this first. Like the group discussion element of this podcast is what shined the most in those earlier episodes.
For sure.
And that's what kept me and personally is the discussions at the end where you guys like just kind of big brain stuff. You like high mind stuff. You're like, oh, what about these concepts?
Yeah, exactly.
Which no one else is doing because you didn't sound like shit when you did it. You know, you sounded articulate and funny, and that's your popularity, right?
So here's for everyone listening, I'm showing Dylan our very first episode notes. This is our very first episode notes.
What is it like? Like they're not even full sentences.
That's
right?
all.
It's
Paragraph.
point form.
That's
read one
all.
of the points. Read one of the points.
It's just like
Christian, the didact.
No, he added that. That's not real. That's not
yeah.
part of our notes.
more.
What is the warp? And that was all. And then we'll talk about it.
We
Where-
would have talked for like 30 minutes on that single
Yeah. So
point.
this is like 3 pages of not really notes. Like this is like bullet points. Where now our episodes are like this. Like
Yeah.
Where they're structured
you've been on
sentences
episodes. No,
of course.
and
Yeah,
their
yeah, so-
thoughts, and we
Yeah.
we
So
specifically create sentences to share all the things we're trying to
Yeah.
share about that topic. Whereas the original ones, it was more like, hey, let's talk about the warp, and then we're like, all right, hopefully we talk about everything about it in
Yeah.
the next hour.
yeah, and we'll try to
Like,
pull shit off our head and stuff.
Yeah, it was very different
But,
back then.
It's preschool versus university.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's what it is. Like the
Yeah.
structure and the forethought is so much
Yeah.
more.
And I
now.
guess that has been growth for me in terms of how we approach the podcast.
Yeah.
That has changed a lot.
Yeah. Oh yes, absolutely. I think though it's more so not that like I think it was more out of necessity than like just happening. Because like the very first episode, we can talk about the warp. We all know what the warp is. But when we're talking about Abaddon's Black Crusade and there's dates and there's bullet points, like you need notes. You need actually So
you just need to get better at reading.
The very
like it's the only poor thing about the podcast.
Yeah.
You just read like shit.
Our
the
very
time.
first episode where we actually did like decent notes.
Yeah.
Was like the horse heresy episode, and even that was not really crazy.
No, because that episode should have been like 8 pages worth of notes or something, and it's probably what, like 3?
Yeah, even that. So, but anyways, it's been wild.
I found our most downloaded episode.
Okay,
it's the Warp, and it's been downloaded.
Dylan bonus episode. If
bonus.
you haven't listened to my bonus episode, listen to my bonus episode.
So you got to listen to this. In the Warp, in the first week that it was released, it got 33 downloads.
Nice,
which was probably
4
us.
of them me.
That's 33 more than you deserved.
In the first month, it got 87 downloads.
Hey.
But all time, it has 58,368 downloads to
Holy
date.
shit.
Yeah.
And you guys have no chance of slowing down. Like the growth of this place is
It's still growing.
it's a weird
We haven't plateaued yet.
Well, it's a weird for me because like my Canadian journey kind of can be shown by your
The Great
progress.
Canadian Adventure.
Essentially, I came here
Told
guys,
by the Australian.
like it's been cool to watch it physically in real life. You guys growing that way, and like, the continued progress of the podcast is like is a representative of how much time I've stayed here. I'm keen to when you expand the studio out. I'm keen for when you guys eventually get cameras in this place.
You know what?
For more big brain ideas. Yeah.
We haven't really shared it, but we've filmed
We filmed
4
like 3 or
episodes
4,
now?
yeah, for sure.
And we're having so much trouble. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, like if any of you guys have any experience with like very minor video editing capability, hit us up. We might be able to take some advice from you.
Yeah, some advice.
Because me and
might
Eric,
be
we
big
we
thing.
don't know what we're
doing a struggle. But honestly,
Yeah.
we've filmed 3 or 4 episodes,
Yeah.
so we have had the footage. And every time I try and get in there, it's like smacking my head into a brick wall.
Yeah.
And the wall wins every time.
What
It's so brutal.
Are you trying to do like multiple cut shots?
No.
It's
Literally
a single
just,
shot, yeah.
So the
but
audio
also,
is-
like, first of all, that's a problem in and of itself because modern cameras, they don't shoot anything longer than 29 minutes 59 seconds. There's a weird regulation in the EU that says if your camera shoots for longer than 30 minutes, it gets taxed differently. So all these like nice cameras like Sony's and Nikon's and stuff, instead of having shots longer than 30 minutes, they just limit all their cameras to max 30 minutes at a time.
What?
So all we
it's
can
so
get is a
weird.
camcorder, and camcorders just notoriously aren't as good in terms of just filming as like a regular camera. So that was the first problem we overcame. We're like, fuck it, let's just buy a camcorder, we'll set it up. So we set it up.
Yeah.
And then to get like the audio that we had here to match up with the video that we had, like they're shooting at different frame rates for some reason. And
So it's out of sync.
it is like, yeah, like you match the front up and it's totally normal. And then like just for shits, I skip ahead half an hour and I'm like, wait a second, it's off now. And then you go 2 hours into the episode and it's completely wrong. So, and there's like, I'm not a video editor.
Yeah, I'm
I don't
sure
do
there's
audio.
like 2 buttons you press to fix it.
Probably, yeah.
But it's like we don't
It's-
fucking know.
We have no idea. And no amount of Google has helped me. It's frustrating to
What
say
you guys
the
could
least.
do is you guys could just draw your conversations on pieces of paper as you're having them and just submit those online. That's kind of close enough.
I do function better in the form of picture communication. than
Exactly.
Word.
Just hold up different pictures and just talk over them. There you go. Easy. Or,
Yeah.
I don't know. What you could do is you could have.
But we're
models-
trying. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, we
we're,
are
we're
trying.
trying to get video for you guys.
Yeah.
Well, that's the next step. Like that's.
It definitely
You're in
is.
audio
Yeah.
content. It's time to go video.
Yeah.
And then into virtual reality after that. But we'll get to that. But next is video, and if you guys get that properly set up, like, you don't have to do battle reports. I don't know how much need or request there is for you to watch you guys play Warhammer.
There's a
More than I
request
would
for
have
it,
initially
yeah.
thought.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I mean, as long as they're super story driven, that should be the point. I would imagine. It'd have to be you'd have to do it differently somehow.
We have discussed a lot of what we want to get out of battle reports and like the level.
We always come back to, well, we want money out of it.
Speaking of which,
Kind of. No, there is like
Yeah.
an aspect where of like, okay, if it doesn't if it doesn't grow the pool of our audience, then like, should we really put in hours and hours of effort when we could just continue to put hours into making content?
Yeah.
Right. So if it, and so the way we want to do it is it needs to be able to grow things. And that means we're not filming on our iPhones.
Yeah.
We're-
There's a quality level that has to be there.
Correct.
Yeah. And we have really big ideas, I think. And I think I'm very happy with what we've put out in terms of what we've said we wanted from it.
Yeah.
I'm like super excited. It's just now of, okay, how do we turn that conceptualization into a manifestation, a space where we can actually film and the right equipment for what we want. And
like we've talked to like video editors before, and like it's just
we've sat down with them and like gone over like plans of what we think is like the right thing. And it's interesting. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see.
We're not ruling it out at this point for sure.
No,
but,
it's probably like the next thing for us to work really hard for.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you guys aren't on YouTube, are you?
No. Well,
So,
kind of.
we have episodes up there, but they're getting like
the next step is
downloads or nothing.
like a proper YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Like, right now you find it on whatever podcast feed you got, but then most people get their content from YouTube.
Exactly.
So as soon as you're in that market,
we would
you gain that market.
Yes, we would go and try and enter into the YouTube market and pull everyone that already enjoys battle reports on YouTube, but from us. So whatever like atmosphere we bring to podcasting, which people either enjoy or hate, right?
Oh no, that's the attitude.
We bring hatred.
We bring hatred.
Well, just like the 41st Millennium, perfect.
Yes.
Exactly.
But whatever it is that we brought to podcasting that seemed to pull a large amount of people who already enjoyed podcasts into it, we want to. People that already enjoy YouTube and watching it, we want to show them like, hey, we're actually like, this is the atmosphere we bring to it, and so it should hopefully attract them, because the product we're serving is literally there's so many channels out there that release battle reports. So what we do is we have to do it in Lorehammer way, and that means not doing it on our iPhones.
Yeah, exactly.
Battle reports, and also just recordings of the episodes. I mean, you've seen like other lore content that is on YouTube, and it's just images, and it's a dude talking over them. But to have like pictures of you guys actually having a conversation, and graphics and stuff pulling up, like that's more digestible. I find.
Yeah, like we have a TV, and like the one episode I was really hoping we got to work but never did was the bestiary episode from Rogue Trader.
Bestiality?
Yes, sir. Because we had a bunch of pictures of bestiality that we pulled up on.
No, we had a bunch of pictures of monsters.
What did I say?
No.
What did you say?
No.
That's what you do with
I'm not
beasts,
playing
sir.
that game.
But like we have a TV in here, so like it won't just be us talking. Like we had images and slides we're pulling up.
But you know what? Even if it is just talking, you get to see James' weird face as he makes faces at the camera. You get to see me touch people. Like, what more could you possibly want?
And you're going to get shut down because we're not social distancing. That's the first thing they're going to say.
Absolutely.
2 meters away.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to lose all our downloads just right there.
Yeah, so everyone's like, quarantine. And we're like, what should we do? I know.
Let's have as many more episodes.
As many different people into this small room as possible. You in, Eric?
Well, after you shut...
I don't know. I think I'm a little feverish. I don't think I can answer that question properly.
You have to shut down the Lorehammer tour. It's the only compensation you can. You're not going worldwide anymore with the podcast. So I guess
you know what?
Restrict to your garage.
Okay. Cards on the table. Lorehammer tour would be one of the coolest things I think I could ever possibly get out of this podcast.
Yeah, the one thing you've told me, you're like, because me and you, we have different goals and stuff for it. But the one goal you're like, I want to be invited to like a convention. I don't want to go to one. I want to be invited.
Yeah, I want to like
one.
Adepticon.
That's a sick
to
goal.
email Lorehammer and be like, hey, do you guys want to come
Yeah.
and hang out for a couple days and be on a panel and have like a table and because people really want to like see you. Like that is my ultimate goal, I think, in this thing. And as soon as that happens, I'll be like, fuck yeah, everything else is pure gravy.
You become a personality that's attached to the franchise.
Yeah.
So coming from like a Magic background, there's a bunch of like famous Magic content makers and players that are like prolific within the community. So if you play Magic, you know who those people are.
Right.
Similar would be in like Warhammer, right? So
Yeah, like everyone knows who Duncan is.
there you go. So it's
Right?
like
He's a very familiar person.
to be so prolific where you've reached that level. That would be a fucking awesome goal. And
Yeah,
I'd
no,
love
exactly.
to see you like alongside an actual Warhammer 40,000 logo, like something that Games Workshop touched. And actually, like if you get some acknowledgement at some point.
We had a little bit of that.
Yeah.
So on our tournament that we did, it was sponsored by
Combat cards.
Combat cards. Yeah. Which
Flare Games.
Flare Games, well played. Like Flare Games is like the publisher of the game. Anyways, doesn't matter. The company that got in contact with us had a contract with Games Workshop. So it wasn't Games Workshop contacting us, but it was a product that is licensed by Games Workshop. And that felt pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Because the interesting thing is like, do these people who are doing this game, like, do they listen to our podcast? Are they building this game and adding little like lore tidbits to all their cards at the same time that one of them is listening to our episodes?
Did
maybe
we
not
influence any cards?
Yeah, maybe not at all.
Let's
but I like to think that like there was like some level of like osmosis. Like they just it drained, it bled into that game.
Run the trade of logic. Like they obviously listened to the podcast. Otherwise, they wouldn't have invited you.
Right?
For sponsorship.
Yeah, because they heard about us doing a podcast.
Yeah, they heard about the
us doing a
tournament. Yeah,
that's right.
Okay,
because they specifically wanted to.
Their first email was like, "Hey, we heard you guys are doing a tournament.
Yes.
Well, how did you hear about it if you weren't listening?"
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So someone's listening, which means Games Workshop might be listening.
Well, that scares the shit out of me.
You're listening, Games Workshop.
Hey, Phil,
we don't
from
actually
accounting.
hate you. We love you.
I like 99% of what GW does.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm hungry, man. Can we go to some pizza on Patreon money or something? Where's the spread?
We don't have. I don't know who has access to the Patreon, but it's not
me.
Fucking
it's not me or Eric.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jordan just did buy a new car.
I'm expecting like a little more.
Interesting.
I like these golden slippers I'm wearing, but like a feast would be nice.
That's pure
while I'm
gold. You
here.
know that, right?
Yeah, that's nice. Can I keep these rings? And these golden sunglasses? These are all pretty
Oh my
decadent,
God.
man.
How great would it be to have a Lorehammer ring we gave to all our guests?
That'd be kinda
signet
dope.
ring?
That'd be kinda
Yeah,
dope.
absolutely. I'm a sucker for signet rings.
Okay,
right
so now you have 2 goals: Lorehammer rings
That's
and being
right.
invited to a con.
That's right. Being invited to a con would honestly, if I got that email, I'd probably just squeal like a.
As a personality.
Oh my God.
And to actually not just attend it, but to be active in it.
And if
Absolutely,
anyone
yeah.
running a con is like, well, I want to fly you down. Like, we just want to be invited. We'll pay for it ourselves to go.
Yeah.
So if somebody from a con is like, oh, well, we don't have the money to fly these big time celebrities down, top 3% pod. We will pay to come to you. We just want the invitation.
Absolutely. I want to be invited. We will make it work.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Absolutely.
The invitation doesn't come with the expectation that you're gonna front $5,000.
Yeah, exactly.
To put us up there.
Exactly.
No, like Lorehammer would love to have a presence outside of the garage and the studio. Right?
No. Okay, I didn't know I was leaving the garage.
Wait.
For legal reasons, I'm not allowed.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Not anytime soon, but eventually.
Yeah.
Hey man, this is gonna be the year of being indoors, and people are gonna be indoors, and they're gonna rip through content. Like internet has been spiking. A lot of content providers are releasing additional content.
But this is also the time of hobbies. Like people are cooking again. They're picking up guitars when they haven't done that forever. Like all the quarantine jokes about how they're gonna paint their armies finally and sit down and model. And so this is consumption right now. People are consuming every single digital piece, but also connecting with older things that they never had done before. So there's probably going to be a lot of new people into the hobby, regardless of whether they played or read before or whatever. So this is there are silver linings to this whole thing.
Assuming you guys don't die, Lorehammer wins from the coronavirus. You are a content provider. You're an audio.
That's right.
content.
Fuck you, Corona. We win.
You actually you win from this scenario.
My favorite part about this is my parents are down in Florida right now, so they will be coming back in a couple weeks. And when they do, my mother's gonna have to be quarantined for 2 weeks. Well, so even if that was the only good benefit of the coronavirus, it's just having my mom locked in her house by law for 2 weeks.
Canada just legislated the Quarantine Act, and anyone who has traveled has to quarantine, not just self-isolate, but quarantine in their house for 2 weeks. And if they don't, they can face up to $1 million in fines or jail time.
$1 million?
Yeah, it's obviously a ridiculous
Holy
number,
shit.
but it's meant to just fear. It's just a fear, stay inside or we'll fucking fine you $1 million. I
thought it was $5,000. I didn't realize it was an egregious number to stop people from doing it.
Yeah. So stay inside.
Stay home, dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah. People don't understand what exponential means. All it takes is one, and then you have $1 billion. You know what I mean? This is just how this whole thing is working.
Yeah.
But man, Lorehammer will win from this scenario. I'm excited. I'm excited for people to listen to it more.
I'm excited for you to be around more.
Well, same. That is my
intention,
intention,
you got to
man.
come play sometime, man.
I'll be sad about
Have you even played a game of 8th yet?
I have. I have played at least 5 games. That's about it.
That's about it. That's more than I thought.
Over the last 3 years.
Well, we're not all winners.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's some losers in 40K.
You'll have to teach me. No, it's
yeah,
cool.
no, definitely come on and hang out. Yeah, like now there's no reason not to.
So
I guess the quarantine part,
Yeah.
but fuck.
I just lost my job.
You literally, like that phone call we took earlier.
Yeah, so halfway through
Yeah.
this podcast, my boss just called me, and I thought I had 1 day's worth of work left. Turns out that day just got taken away from me.
Yeah, so if you want to help Dylan, go check out his OnlyFans page.
Yeah.
His premium Snapchat.
His premium Snapchat.
No, just give money to Lorehammer because I steal from them all the time. So,
So
I
you
eventually.
have
Wait a
access.
minute, what?
Who has access?
Son of a bitch! But yeah, no, that's crazy. That's the reality for a lot of people. Like, not me. I was a student. I didn't have a job before. Mark was already not working. Like, you were already just working for your brother, right? So,
You were practicing for the pandemic.
like, it hasn't affected us in that level, but
Well, I'm entertainment industry, so like it's all shut the fuck down because it's not essential. But yeah, I'll have all the time in my hands. Thus is why I came here last week to like learn how to paint a fucking Space Marine again.
yeah.
But no,
And
I
to
mean,
hang out, right?
in a
Like,
world. I mean, he's got a cute cat. That's about it. Through the window.
one of the
Not
cats.
close. Through the
Yeah.
window.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, like, okay,
They're both
here's a
actually
question.
Really cute.
Okay, so in a world of social distancing,
Yes.
obviously, we live in the age of a pandemic. So that means that the threat is people. So other people are a threat.
So kill other people.
So technically,
them.
if you follow the train of logic, the safest you can be is to completely isolate yourself.
Absolutely.
So every other person you introduce to your life is acceptable risk. It's something you decide, okay, all right, if you're sick, I'm going to be sick in this moment. Let's accept that. So you're probably going to do your family, your inner friends, but how wide do you make that circle?
My circle's pretty small.
For like, would you have 10 people over to play games?
So like I
Right.
am not. I like I've.
Would you
I'm
have
not
9?
sick. I'm not sick.
Yeah, but that argument doesn't matter because it's an incubation period.
Okay, but I've been alone in my house for a solid month at this point, right? And
Has
so
Megan?
absolutely, yeah. Well, not a month, but she's worked from home for 2 weeks now at this point.
It's always like the last trip to the grocery store. It's the way you think
Yeah,
of it.
but
right?
at that point, like if you're assuming that the grocery store is also going to put you in contagion, then literally don't ever leave your house.
And
Correct,
that's
it's all
to me
acceptable
that's
risks. Yeah.
that's what it is. Like
Yeah.
I need to go out and buy food no matter what. So
Yeah.
if I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it from that or
Correct.
other people who bought food. So if I hang out with 18 of my friends, or only 2, I've went to a grocery store once a week, so I'm fucked
Yeah.
anyways.
Like I've touched the door handle, I've
Yeah,
touched the
like,
shopping carts,
doesn't
I've picked
matter.
up a can that someone else has picked up. Like,
Yeah.
and I do understand like the whole like mitigate risk, right? Like that's just a thing.
You know, attempt to mitigate as much risk as
Yeah,
possible.
absolutely. And so, but if in the mindset that I have, if all those other 10 people also have that same mindset,
Yep.
then I'm okay. Because then we all accept the risk together.
Yep.
Right. And then everyone
Correct.
everyone I hang out also like we share the mindset.
Yeah.
Right. So then it's the risk. But also none of my friends are immune compromised.
Okay.
Right, like I'm also
Of course.
pointedly avoiding going to see my grandparents
obviously.
at a
You're
point
doing the
at a
right
time
thing.
like this. But like we are still recording, right? Like
Well, you still hang out
there
with
is an
like, people one at a
acceptable
time.
risk that we have obviously come to a nonverbal agreement with.
Everybody is now trying to understand what is their own acceptable risk.
Yeah.
So it's like, how many people are you going to go see? So people are still going to house parties, and it's like,
Yeah.
what are you doing, man?
And so yeah,
but
part of it, it's
but like for example, my D&D group, we've stopped it. There's only like 6 or 8 of us.
because to them the risk apparently
Yeah.
for D&D group is just too great.
for me, it
and
was like,
I think
okay,
it's
that's
more
the
a
one thing
personal
I'll
choice. So.
But that's the
Correct.
thing. Everyone
Dylan's gonna be
Everyone's
there.
questionable.
No,
I don't know
think
about that.
It comes down to everyone has to agree to the risk together.
Correct.
As soon as one person doesn't agree, the whole thing either disappears or they get removed.
Correct.
That's the whole thing. Is you also just can't control what other people are doing. You can only control what you are doing. So if you really want to avoid everyone, you stay inside.
Yeah,
right?
which
Like
is
that's the only way to truly protect
correct,
yourself.
which no one's going to do. So,
Well, some people are. Like, I know a couple actual immune compromised people
okay, and that's
that are
different, that's
purely staying inside. Like, they're not even having contact with people at the door. Like, people
Yeah,
are
okay.
dropping groceries off and they just leave them at the doorstep
right.
and they like rubber glove up to bring them in. And so,
Well, yeah,
like
'cause they
those
could
are
die.
absolutely those are
Correct.
precautions they need to take. And like my risk is much lessened compared to them.
So where I'm going with this, it's like, okay, say for instance, you invite me over next week to play Warhammer, right? And then I have some other buddy that wants to hang out at some point during the week. And then I have some other buddy that hangs out at some time. So at what point do you draw that line? And that's what we're all trying to figure out right now. It's like, how many friends do you let in your life? You know, like,
Absolutely, yeah.
it's a weird thing because obviously I'd come hang out, but you know, some people might
Just
tell me
stay
I
2 meters away from us.
shouldn't. Basically, it's weird. Yeah,
Don't
but,
touch my models with your greasy fingers.
It's something we all got to figure out. Some people want to isolate themselves from the world. Some people will walk through a supermarket not giving a shit. So
yeah,
I think
it's a crazy world.
I think I've been to like 5 supermarket air type things since this whole thing started. So I'm fucked either way.
Yeah, exactly.
I already have corona.
Still got to 8.
Yeah.
Well,
I saw this. You'll enjoy this, Dylan.
What did you see?
I
Eric?
saw a meme.
Don't leave me in suspense.
I saw a meme.
Fuck, what's
and
a meme?
The caption was, government, make sure you have something with you that you can eat for 2 weeks. And it's just a picture of the guy with the girl over his shoulder.
Interesting.
Yeah. I just thought you might enjoy that.
The memes are like, what's gonna get us through this? It's the humor, it's the comedy, it's the internet. Because we're all connected online now. So as we can laugh at this thing, that's actually what's gonna alleviate a lot of the stress that a lot of people are feeling.
And I think the big thing, and this is why we're doing like the Lorehammer lockdowns, is we're all in this together. Yeah. You're not alone out there. You might feel like you're alone, but you can always reach out to us, message us if you're feeling lonely or trapped in your house or just bored or whatever. We're all gonna make it through this. We're gonna be fine.
At the very least, join our Discord.
Fucking A. It's the time of the content provider. That's what it's called for. Everyone's at home. They're looking for something to do. So it's up to you guys to fucking make it up for them.
That's right.
Yeah.
You guys have to cure coronavirus.
We're not the heroes they wanted. We're the heroes they needed.
Exactly. You guys better produce a vaccine because there's a lot of people counting on you guys. And if you don't, it's going to be a darker world. So the responsibility is on you guys.
Okay.
I'm going back to my lab.
Back to the lab with you.
Okay, cool.
My petri dishes.
Stay safe, guys.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone. We have a lot more of these to come. Some of them are going to be very open flow conversation like this one. We have other ones that are very much topic oriented. So you can pick and choose, listen to any, whatever. But if you've listened this far,
pick your poison.
Yeah, if you've listened this far, support us on Patreon. $1 a month helps a lot. I know everyone's like kind of holed up on money right now, but
you greedy fuck.
Yeah, Mark.
How dare you demand money in such a
I
time
asked
of crisis?
him not to. I told him don't do this.
No, seriously, give him money so I can steal
No,
it.
it actually has been like, I don't want to use the word heartwarming, but it has been nice. Like our Patreon numbers hasn't dropped.
Yeah.
Like we are still getting more. Like even yesterday we got $16 worth of new Patreon money, which doesn't sound like a lot, but honestly it is a lot when you add it onto tomorrow we'll get another 10 and the next day we'll get
it means a lot to us. It's very encouraging for us to know that like people feel that they get enough out of it that they actually want to support us.
So thank you all our current patrons. It's crazy that you guys are sticking with us. Like it's crazy out there. But yeah,
it'll get to the point where the podcast is bigger than the two of you.
Hopefully.
You'll create this empire, this entity. That is a brand.
Wow,
this child almost that grows and learns.
Finally replace Eric. Finally.
I've already got rid of Jordan. My next step is Eric.
Wait. No.
And then it will just be me
and your model.
And Trevor.
And a camera.
Oh my God.
Cool.
Awesome.
Well, thanks everyone for listening.
Stay safe out there.
Stay safe, wash hands.
Yeah, don't go licking people, I guess is a new rule that we have to all keep in mind.
Support your content providers.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't die. All right, g'day, guys. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, everybody. Don't turn me down. You fuck. You cunt.